Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Tesla stock, let's go over the market, let's talk about what is happening and what we can expect moving forward with Tesla stock and just the market in general, really. So as usual, if you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to hit that like button as it does help a lot. This is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. And of course, my membership section is live. That link is down below. For just $2.99, you get access to all my intraday thoughts, posts, updates, technical analysis, options flow on Tesla, and sometimes the broader market as a whole. Every single day, the market's open. And also, if you're interested for $4.99 as an upgrade, you can also get access to all of that, plus NVIDIA daily updates as well. So link is in the description below. It is a YouTube membership, but let's just jump into it. Tesla closing the day up actually a beautiful 4.25%, which compared to the market is going to be a beautiful outperformance when the market being down about 0.25%. So Tesla yet another outperformance compared to the market, which is always a nice thing to see. You know, it's always good to see Tesla outperform the market, especially on a day like yesterday, where the market was pretty darn red. Now, I want to make it very clear, and I'm very quickly going to start off with the market because the market to me is still not amazing, right? I want to make that very, very clear. The market, SPY and QQQ are still looking very mediocre to me, right? We have, for instance, SPY, right, came back up to test this resistance area, right? This area was a support. You can see here many times we bounced off of it several times, and then we broke down below. It came back up to retest it today and got rejected. We're now officially below the 21 email on SPY, and we have officially had a MACD bearish crossover on SPY. Stochastic is pointing straight down, BX trender is straight down. So to me, right now the momentum for the bulls, it's really just not there yet, right? I think SPY has definitely more room to fall, probably all the way down to about low 540s, I would say, somewhere around 540 to 543 ish, right? I could definitely see that happening, right, for SPY, for instance, and that would be another move of about, I mean, only about 1.5%, so it's nothing crazy, I guess, but you know, the trend is definitely not in the bulls' favor, at least as of right now, until we start getting more, you know, confidence, you know, for instance, back above the 21 EMA, maybe the stochastic and on daily flips back to being bullish, and pretty much the same idea here on the QQQ, except it looks a little bit weaker, right? Same idea. Bearish flips all on these indicators. Stochastic still bearish, right? You know, below the 21 EMA, right? We're below all these major moving averages, below the 23-day moving average as well. We're below the market buy. So like the bulls have definitely lost some steam here, right? The bears have definitely taken some control, at least for the short term. Now, and I always say this, will this affect Tesla or will this not affect Tesla? Nobody knows, right? Tesla definitely likes to do its own thing more often than not, as we have seen for the past 2 days, right? The market was down 3% yesterday. Tesla was down like what, 1.5%? Nothing crazy at all. And today the market's down again. I mean, nothing crazy, but still red. And Tesla's up over 4%, right? So you want to make that clear, right? Always make that distinction. Tesla doesn't always just directly follow the market. It hasn't for a while, because if it has, Tesla would not be trading all the way down here. It would be much higher if it were just to be following the market, which has been doing phenomenally well. So just make that very, very clear. I wanted to just kind of, you know, iterate that point, because I know a lot of people are going to be saying, well, the market's going to crash, so that means Tesla has to crash. It could. It absolutely could put pressure. It absolutely can bring Tesla down. Absolutely. But it doesn't have to, is my point. So that's why it's always good to chart them separately and, you know, maybe put some similarities between the two and whatnot. But it doesn't mean it has to, right? It doesn't mean it has to, as we see today and yesterday. Anyway, so with that kind of public service announcement out of the way, you know, let's talk about Tesla's price action just in general today, right? So what do we do today? We came out, you know, we had this nice little bullish retest yesterday, like I mentioned, came back down for this, you know, downward channel, bull flag, whatever. Had a retest, beautiful retest, and then we pretty much skyrocketed during the first hour of the day, and then we started to consolidate somewhere around this 220 zone, right? I've been telling my members that 220 to 225 is going to be an area of pretty major resistance, right? Why? Well, I mean, simply put, if we just zoom out right here, you can see, I think it was like this. I can't remember if it was, okay, yeah. So here you can see the volume profile definitely spikes, and we are getting rejected pretty much right at that volume profile, right? This 220 to 225 is just a general resistance area that we have gotten resisted at before. So I definitely expect some, you know, difficulties overall over here. If I zoom out like this, right, you're probably going to see a decent amount of, you know, volume profile kind of kick in towards that general vicinity, which it is. You can see right over here, volume profile also kicking in. So there is an area of resistance there, right? That is an area to definitely break through. But, you know, if we do break above and start closing at least 1 hour, if not ideally daily candles above 225, I would say, honestly, even like 224, but like 225 to make it simple, that'll be pretty bullish. And I think Tesla will be looking pretty good. But even with that being said, I still actually think Tesla doesn't look that bad, right? Despite if maybe, you know, it has a red day tomorrow, or, you know, we have Friday, we have the jobless data coming in, which could definitely change things a lot. But as of right now, at least relative to the market, I have to say, surprisingly, Tesla actually looks pretty decent, man. Pretty damn decent, I have to admit. Why? Well, because again, you know, we have the MACD flipped to being bullish. We had a nice little bearish trap over here on the MACD flip, and then it went just back to being bullish, and it made a fresh higher high. Beautiful stuff, right? RSI is above the median, looking pretty solid, pointing straight up, right? We have the again, one of my personal favorite indicators, right? The daily stochastic, I personally put a lot of emphasis on this, just my opinion. I've had good success with it in terms of just having trajectory, right? It's not perfect, of course, but it's good. I like it a lot. In other words, it has a bullish crossover today. So that's a good sign on the daily chart. So there are some pretty positive signs building on the daily chart. That doesn't mean that we have to just skyrocket to $300 tomorrow, of course. I know some people think that. No, but to me, it's telling me that Tesla is showing some pretty damn good, impressive strength compared to the market. And despite the market looking a little bit bearish, honestly, Tesla doesn't look that bearish at all. In fact, it actually looks arguably bullish. Also, this can change, but BX Trend are making higher highs as well. This can obviously change. I want to make that very clear. Nothing is guaranteed, nothing is foolproof. But just based off these current indicators I'm seeing right now, and that nice bullish retest that we had yesterday off of this channel breakout into a retest, and now we're obviously getting continuation. I like to see these things. These are aspects that I like to see. On top of that, we're above the 21 EMA once again. We're actually getting rejected almost perfectly to the 50-day moving average, which is interesting, right? Almost to perfection. Like you couldn't ask for better rejection, really, right? But we are where is it? Market bias. We're above the market bias, right? The band's regression. Remember yesterday I said we were getting support right at that 23-day moving average, which is this yellow line, that kind of mean reversion line. Well, beautiful bounce off of that so far, right? We're holding above it. That's a good sign. And if I close these out for now and we take another look at this, which is going to be the 5 and 13 moving averages, right? If I zoom in, it's a little bit hard to see. You can see it is, why isn't it showing it properly? I'm pretty sure it's crossing over. It's like behind it. I don't know why it's showing it. This is very strange. It should be showing it above it. Maybe if I mouse over it. No. Maybe if I do this. I'm not sure why it's not showing it whatever. Anyway, from what I can tell, at least, it seems like the green is crossing the red, which is another sign of that bullish momentum is definitely kicking in for Tesla. So, in my opinion, despite what may happen tomorrow or Friday, at least as of right now, I think Tesla is actually setting up to look pretty damn nice moving forward. The next level to really, truly break above and hold is going to be 225. I think that's the major level to break above and hold. I think if that happens, I think at the very least we come up to about the mid to low 230s. And if we break above that, I think we'll come up for this gap fill sitting at about the mid 240s, right? Those are the main levels to the upside. To the downside, well, again, pretty much I don't really want to lose 214-ish, right? I don't want to lose 214 roughly. I don't want to lose that 21 EMA once again, and I really don't want to lose the 23-day moving average, right? They're all sitting at the levels that I roughly just mentioned. So 214 is my level, to about 13-ish is a 21 EMA, and then of course we have about 211, we'll say, for that 23-day moving average. Those are the main levels, support levels down below us that I definitely don't want to break and lose. If we happen to lose those, that will start getting a little bit more bearish. I think Tesla will definitely start losing some of that bullish momentum that, in my opinion, it is building and gaining and continuing clearly. And then below those levels, 207 followed by 203. If we ever lose 203, I think Tesla actually becomes straight up bearish. So you definitely don't want to lose 203. I think that's probably the most important level not to lose. Even just 207, losing that, even that will be already concerning in my opinion. But really, like losing 203 to 200, that'll be pretty bearish. And I think Tesla will have a pretty bearish situation setting up, which, technically possible, right? It's technically possible, right? For instance, we can easily just have a move like this, right? We can easily, where is the drawing tool, right? For instance, we had this massive fall, right? We have, again, a nice little rally up here, then we can have this, little rally up a little bit higher, something like this, give or take, right? And then we can easily still just fall back down like this. Like that is a possibility, and this can happen maybe towards the end of September, right? That's a possibility. Just, definitely don't want to completely disregard that, right? We're still, despite everything and despite how Tesla's looking, I think short term is looking pretty decent actually, but we're still in a very, very, very bearish month, especially the second half in theory, seasonality wise. And during an election year, October is supposed to be pretty bearish as well for the market and Tesla. So, you definitely still don't want to completely ignore seasonality, right? That still is potentially going to be a major factor, but very short term Tesla, in my opinion, it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. It's looking pretty promising. And I would say it's looking more bullish than bearish. Options flow is kind of all over the place. We had a few major hits, though, that came in today. 1.2 million call on Tesla, 215 strike above the ask for actually next month at the 18th of next month, which is pretty damn good. I think there was another one here somewhere. I can't remember if I saw it or not yet. I think over here, yeah. 1.1 million, September, what is that, September? August 13th. Okay, I think this one's surely it's taking profit. I'm not going to talk about that one. That's taking profit. 2.4 million though over here. You can see for what is this, March 21st, 2025, right? So that's a pretty nice one to see. But then you had some ones that kind of counteracted that, right? You had a 1.7 here and another 1.7 over here. 200 strike as well for February or January 16th, 2026, and this one was for pretty much next month, the 18th. So some bearish flow did come in towards the end of the day as well. So again, options flow is great. If you want to use it for yourself, if you value it or whatever, I have links below to Cheddar Flow and Black Box. They're both great services for options flow, and I have discounts for both. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. I do recommend it if you like options flow. Some people trade strictly off options flow. I'm not one of those people personally. I just use it as a supplementary. I prefer just using, I prefer reading the chart. That's just how I trade. I trade by reading the chart. Some people trade by reading options flow. Everyone has their own, thing, which is perfectly fine. But anyway, link is below if you're interested. But definitely some puts came in towards the end of the day to sort of offset that, nice bullish flow we had earlier in the day. So I'm not sure how much weight I put onto that right now. But again, I'll just be looking at the chart. I'll be reading the chart as I usually do. And so far, we've been doing pretty well, in my opinion. So anyway, enough yabbling and blabbling. You guys know what I'm looking for. You guys know what I'm seeing and what I'm expecting and how I feel about Tesla moving forward. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And as usual, I'll see you for the next one. Peace.